Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I accept things the way they are. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I love wasting. I love wasting. I get free. I reap abundantly. I already have everything I need. Wonderful is happening to me right now. Don't you feel it? Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Oh yeah, I accept things the way they are. I will. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Morning. Good morning. Welcome to the center.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the center.
Thank you. What a beautiful morning it is.
Welcome to the center.
And welcome to the center.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today is an amazing day. We're going to have all the new practitioners be installed, and we're going to have the other practitioners reinstalled. And those of us who are still students will probably take another class.
Yay! We love classes.
It's a special day, very special day.
Very special day.
We're excited.
Just kidding.
We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individualized soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of all is God.
You have two.
Good morning. And on this very special day, I'd like to read from some of the words from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. I know there is a power for good which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. I know there is a power for good that enables me to help others and to bless the whole world. So I say quietly to myself, there is one life. That life is God, that life is perfect, that life is my life now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me. I am one with its rhythm. My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe, in serenity, in peace, and in joy. My whole physical being is animated by the Divine Spirit, and if there is anything in it that does not belong, it is cast out because there is one perfect life in me now. And I say to myself, I am daily guided so that I shall know what to do under every circumstance in every situation. Divine intelligence guides me in love, in joy, and in complete self-expression. Desiring that the law of good alone shall control me, I bless and prosper everything that I am doing. I multiply every activity. I accept and expect happiness and complete success. Realizing that I am one with all people, I affirm that there is a silent power flowing through me and them, which blesses and heals and prospers, makes happy and glad their pathway. And realizing that the world is made up of people like myself, I bless the world and affirm that it shall come under the divine government of good, under the divine providence of love, and under the divine leadership of the Supreme Intelligence. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
And so if you would, just stay with me and close your eyes. And so how beautiful, how wonderful it is to be here today in this special time, in this special moment. To acknowledge the presence of the divine. To simply know that God is truly all there is, everywhere present, in and through and as each and every one of us. And so as we anchor ourselves in that awareness of that perfect love, perfect joy, perfect peace, and the energy of light, love. It is here that I speak for each person here in the first person. And I'm simply aware, and I know that perfect love, perfect joy, perfect peace is at the very center of my being. That each vibratory response is that of spirit expressing itself fully. And today, we affirm that with our new practitioners. Just feel the energy in this room. It's powerful, it's joyful, it's peaceful. The Centers for Spiritual Living live, breathe, and move into the divine idea of a world that works for everyone. Well, it starts right here, right now, with each one of us. And so, as we anchor ourselves in that awareness of the divine, the perfect love, wholeness, and completeness, and allow that energy to permeate through this room as it reaches out into our community and into our world, we are creating that perfect space, that world that works for everyone. Void of any delusional or discord or disenfranchisement. Simply not happening today, folks. Because God's in the house. And so it is in this space with a heart filled with gratitude and joy, simply release these words into the law, knowing that this service and everything involved with it is perfect. whole and complete. And in agreement, together we sing, in service.
So the title of today's message is You Can Change the World. And in planning for today's service, my beloved sisters and colleagues, Reverend STACI and Reverend CHERYL, said to me, you have 10 minutes to speak.
I think we said 7.
Well, then they went on to say, which means you get 7 minutes. Which means that'll be 12 minutes in Jerome time, which means we're only giving you 5 minutes, which means because you generally double your time and round up, we're giving you 3 minutes. So let's see what we can do in Jerome time 3 minutes. So today is a wonderful day. It is that wonderful day that we celebrate the idea of the science of mind practitioner. Now, some may ask, what is a practitioner? So I think the best person to go for that would be our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And I think the best resource that we can go to would be the book that he authored, which is entitled The Science of Mind. And Dr. Holmes says on page 167, he actually has a section entitled, and it's quite lengthy, but I'm only going to read a little part of it, but he has a section that is called, What is a Practitioner? And he says this, the one who attempts to heal himself or another through a recognition of the creative power of mind and the ever availability of good. This is a mental or spiritual practitioner. So, as we look at that, if we look at that definition, what Dr. Holmes is saying is that those who are interested in the science of mind, those that explore and seek to understand the principles of the science of mind, those that use and apply the concepts of the science of mind in an endeavor to heal their lives, to direct their lives, and to change their lives, is a practitioner. Well, guess what? That means every single person in this room is a science of mind practitioner. So today, we are going to celebrate all of you wondrous practitioners. Now, practitioners, how many of you, be honest, because the universe knows, how many of you read from the Science of Mind textbook this week? Ooh. Let us do some homework. Because you see, Dr. Holmes has some very practical and powerful reminders for all of us wondrous practitioners. And these reminders are found in the Science of Mind textbook. So here we go. Page 138. The first principle, fundamental to the understanding of the operation of thought, is that we are surrounded by an infinite intelligence. The possibility, now listen to what he says, because he tells us what is possible here. The possibility of healing physical dis-ease, changing environment, attracting friends, and demonstrating supply through the power of right thinking rests entirely on the theory that we are surrounded by an infinite mind which reacts to our thought according to law. In other words, what Dr. Holmes is telling us is that we are surrounded by something that is infinite, that has the ability to take thoughts and make them things. So, dear practitioners, the question is this: what thoughts will you think today? Next reminder. Page 50 in the Science of Mind textbook. And it's entitled, No Limit to Thought. When we think, something happens to thought. The field through which thought operates is infinite. There is no reason to doubt it. No matter how it is approached, to thought, there can be no limit. So we will say that it is the nature of being to react in this way. Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? As much of it as we can embody. In other words, what Dr. Holmes is saying is there's no limit to what we can think. When you lie in bed, close your eyes and begin to think of things you've never thought before, and you will realize there is no limit to thought. Now, what's even more amazing about that is that you are surrounded by something infinite that takes those thoughts and makes them things. So there is no limit to what we can have or experience. Could there be any greater news? So, practitioners, how limitless will you allow your thought to be today? Another reminder, page 140. In the great universal mind, man is a center of intelligence. We are immersed in, and again he says this, every reading, we are immersed in an infinite creative medium which, because of its nature, must create after the pattern of the thoughts we give it. Jesus understood this, and in a few simple words laid down the law of life. The law of life. And Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. No more simple and yet no more profound statement could be made. So Dr. Holmes, using Jesus' words, reminds us that it is done unto you as you believe. The question, dear practitioners, what will you choose to believe today? Another reminder. And I love that this part of the textbook is italicized. The possibility of demonstrating does not depend upon environment, condition, location, personality, or opportunity, or even if you are not a Kardashian. Oh, I may have wrote that in there. The possibility of demonstrating does not depend upon environment, condition, location, personality, or opportunity. It depends solely upon our belief and our acceptance and our willingness to comply with the law through which all good comes. The universe will never deny us anything. Everyone who asks receives according to his belief. In other words, Dr. Holmes reminds us that the universe never says no. The universe always says, yes. The universe always says, yes. So today, dear practitioners, what will the universe be saying yes to you for? One last reminder. Page 285. There must, and this is where we must change, we must help the world change their thinking. There must be nothing vicious in it. Remember what Jesus said, therefore if you bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave the altar immediately, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer your gift. Why? Because we cannot enter into peace while we are in a state of confusion. It cannot be done. We cannot manifest love when we have a mental equivalent of hate in our hearts and our minds. So in these words, Dr. Holmes reminds us of something very simple. You block your good when you ain't good. Let kindness rule your life, and life will rule your experience with kindness. So, Minister of Practitioners, Director of Education, your practitioners have done their homework. Remember, you wondrous practitioners, remember these things. And if you do, and if you apply these principles, you will change your life. And yes, you will change the world. Namaste.
I want today. Thank you, Reverend Dan. Ah, everybody's so cute. Well, good morning, everyone. As Reverend Dan has said, I'm CHERYL Bell, co-minister with these lovely people, my brother and sister, and somehow I got to be the director of education. Woo! I love it. Reverend Dan just told you all are practitioners. However, we're here to celebrate not only all of you, but these special people in the front row here. Reverend Stacy and I decided that when we were working on our talk, that we would speak about the hero's journey. Now, there's 12 steps, but we went with the 8 steps. They said there was 12, but then there's 8, so we chose 8. So we're sharing in that topic, and I'll be talking about the first 4 steps. And most of you already know the hero's journey is in every story you've ever read, and in every movie you've ever seen, right? Something horrible happens, they gotta get through, but it always turns out good, right? Joseph Campbell says a hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. So we'll call it a hero's journey or a shero's journey. How about that? All right, the first step, the call. Now, as Director of Education, I'm calling all of you to sign up for classes. The sign-up sheets are in the hallway right by the balloons. I mean, think about it. That's what these folks here, they made a decision to start that journey. Because it is a journey. And you're all worthy of that journey. I'll tell you, when I first decided to take classes, oh, and by the way, did you know the center is celebrating its Sweet 16 this month? Woohoo! You know, I went to Agape for 5 years in Los Angeles, and every Sunday I was there, I'd look at that wall of classes, I'd take the flyers, I never would sign up. I'm going to sign up, I'm going to take a class, I'm going to take a class. Never. I came to the center in July of 02, and my first class was in the fall of 2006. I called Reverend Cynthia. It was a period in my life where I was sad, and I was sick of being sad. I was so sick of being sad, I would go to LA all the time, and that weekend before I went to LA, and went to the bookstore and bought every book that had happy in the title. I bought it, so I spent $150, and I still wasn't happy. So I called Reverend Cynthia and I said, I want to take classes, but however, I don't want to start with the first year. She said, well, no. She told me no. Because the second year was, the first class was Power of Decision, and that's the class I wanted to take. I was determined, I begged. And she said, okay, think about it and call me back. So of course I called her back and I still wanted to take that class. And she allowed me to do that. So I went through all second year first. And then I started over with the first year. And that's another part of the call. Sometimes you get drugged into the call, because I talked my sister here into taking class with me, the first year classes with me. I made all kinds of promises. I won't tell you all of them. Oh, I'll pay for your class. I'll do whatever you know. You can miss 2 classes and still get credit. It's only 8 weeks. Oh, and I don't think I told her there was no homework. I didn't tell that. Oh my gosh. So that was the year we had, we were still 2 organizations, RSI, so we had Series 100, Series 200, that kind of thing, but now we begin with foundations. We do have a daytime and an evening foundations, but we have to know that that's what you want. The second step is the threshold. That's the jumping off point. When you actually do take that pen, sign up, or at least show up to class. Even if you have to drag one of your friends, right? Right, Kim and Gina. Oh gosh. You know, you just don't know the bonds that are formed. I mean, you know, I think about our first class and how many people were in it and the journey we took, and it ended up being, you know, the 4 of us and the 3 of us plus 1 out there, Lauren Battle-Ladini. But you know, these are friendships you're going to have for the rest of your life, I promise. I mean, these are friends that you could not talk to even for 2 years, call them, and it's like you just talked to them yesterday. I mean, some people even become practitioners because of their friends. I tell you, I was in Prac 2, and every class I said, I am not going to be a practitioner. Didn't I? I mean, one of our friends is still holding it against me. Said you weren't going to be a practitioner. I said, I changed my mind. He still loves me and I still love him. However, he's holding that over my head. You know, the thing, and number 3 is the challenges we face. You know, the challenges of the unknown, the unclear. What am I going to do with this? Why am I doing? Then there's those people in your your circle that haven't gone away yet. Because I promise you, the longer you stay in class, they do. I don't know where they go, but they do go away, I promise. I do promise. I mean, the challenges could be financial, time-wise, homework, maybe. I don't know. For sure. Stop it. And just those old patterns that rear their ugly heads, and yes, they are ugly. And I know, and you want to ignore them. And you can with the help of your classmates, your minister, and other practitioners here. And your own thoughts of unworthiness. I'm here to tell you, you're all worthy. Reverend Dan told you, you're all practitioners. But not very many raise their hand as far as studying or spiritual practice. Because, that's what it takes. I mean, don't think that we're perfect all the time. Dan is.
Finally, it's recognized. Make sure you have that on film.
Don't worry, I won't say it again. But in the challenges, this is where all the goodness comes. This is where the hero matures in the challenges. Because they get to work through all those issues. Then the fourth step, the abyss. I know that sounds scary, doesn't it? But that'll be your greatest challenge. I think all of you know about that challenge, the challenge that you can only face alone. No one can go there with you. Right? Talking about those exams. Those exams is something you have to get through on your own. Rumi says it's your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. Right? I'm going to ask all but one. And the one that I'm speaking of has booties on, which she's actually getting off this week. Of course, after the guest. Booties, the one with the tricycle. Anyway, I'm going to ask them all to come forward as I call their names, except the ones with the tricycle. She can stay right there. We'll come to her today. Gary Alaimo. Victoria Cavaricci. Mary Jo Clark. Judith Pisano Cunningham. Gina Giordano. And then there's Kim Zerwanki. If it's not too much trouble. That's not all. That's not all. I have some stuff in my pocket too. Russell, you have a photograph? I talk about this is I know it's kind of scary. My hair looks exactly the same. Oh my goodness. This is Reverend Stacy, myself, Lauren Balladini, and Dan. Not Reverend Dan. Not Reverend Cheryl, not Reverend Stacy. We were in San Juan Capistrano. This is after we passed our oral exams. Let's be honest with you, I was not sure that I had passed yet. I wasn't convinced. But in that was 2010, believe it or not. Reverend Dan, I don't think you received your 5-year pin for ministerial. But guess what? I have one for you. Thank you. Thank you for
It should be bigger and there should be more gold.
Oh my gosh. Lauren Ballardini. I'm not sure you received yours, but I have one for you. Woo-hoo. It's a little late, but I got it to you. Not done yet. Fast forward to 2012. Selena Kelly. All right. These are the practitioner of practitioners that are coming up here now. And Daisy Spikes. Talk about shero, hero.
There you go.
Woohoo! Here you go. Okay, you notice Stacy and I don't get a pin yet. That's okay. We're here for the journey. We're here for the long road. We're down for the count. These are our graduates. Please stand.
I feel a new calling then, you know, like leaving the stage, right? There's a next step that you might like. With a low, low price of all your time. Yes. I don't think so. Well, good morning. I am Staci Hilton, and I have the great pleasure to be the Minister of Practitioners. I say the great pleasure. Other people might call it something else. That's all right. I absolutely love all of you, and I'm very proud of you. And I'm proud of all of you, my friends and my practitioners and my colleagues. So Reverend Cheryl talked about the hero and the hero's journey. That's quite something, and we all go through that journey, don't we? Whether it's to sign up for classes, and please sign up for classes. Cheryl probably has a pen, she probably has a sign-up sheet pass it around right now. But it is a start of something. You answer that call. I'm sick and tired. There's nobody that knows more about being sick and tired than me. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. I will tell you some of that story maybe if you sign up for classes, right? I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go because it's too important. And so from that place, from the call, there is the threshold. There's that jumping off point. You get a good, great friend like Reverend Cheryl and says, just come on. What else do you have to lose? And from there are challenges. How do you pay for it? I don't know. It was, I don't know, $180 I think at the time. I didn't have $180 at the time. But I had a good, great minister, Reverend Cynthia, that said, come on. Come on. And then you just keep going, and you meet the friends that you meet, and the relationships that you build, and the teaching. It's just a beautiful teaching. And we don't tell you to sign up for classes for the extra money for us, because guess what? It's $180 for 10 weeks. The center gets half, and the teacher gets half. So if you do the math, how much do you We do it, and NCSL gets up. We do it because we love the teaching and because we truly want to change the world. And we know, firsthand, we know that that's the way it works, because it's worked for us. That is the And then there is the abyss, of course. And the abyss, you face it alone. Those exams are just trembling. And you make it through. And then you've got another badge of honor. And there's something else you can go to when you think that I can't make it through this. Because there will be another something that you have to go through. And so the final 4 steps. Russell, do you have quotes for me? If you don't, it's okay. God. There will be challenges. Make no mistake, your greatest teacher will not be what you expect. Your mentor will embody love, light, grace, and compassion. However, your greatest teacher comes imbued with rage, darkness, fear, and judgment. It is when you have overcome the trials of your greatest teacher with the tools of your mentor, you will finally recognize the truth. You are both them, and they are both you. This is the hero and CHERYL's journey. And from that place, there is a place where the caterpillar transforms into that beautiful butterfly. And the funny thing is about it, when you see that transformation, you all see it. You see it with us, you see it with your center, you see it with your spouse, you see it with your kids. But the funny thing is about transformation is you don't see it within yourself at first. Many times, somebody has to tell you, hey, you know what? You've changed. You see it right here in these beautiful people. You see it when they walk in the room. They are not the same people that walked in the center. Girlfriend, don't even go. That's another story for another day. The next step is revelation. There's a sudden dramatic change in the hero and CHERYL's life. And the hero realizes their attained goal. So it actually is that point where you actually recognize, you look in the mirror, you say, yes, I have transformed. I am a new, reborn being. I am my magnificent self. I am fully evolved and I am happy. I'm feeling my full self-worth, and I know that I know that I know what I know. It's a new day. And I'm hoping, praying, not hope, we don't know, praying that that's where you all feel right now. And if you don't, you will. And some days are better than others, right? Don't catch us on Sundays before service. Then there's, I'll call it at 1 minute. At 1 minute which so incorporates changes and you're reborn and the imbalance is corrected. I started classes being sick and tired. And at some point, I realized I have a great life. I do exactly that which I want to do. I am loved and I am loved. I have a beautiful spiritual home. I have friends. I have meaning. I have balance when I choose to have it. I have something meaningful that I'm doing. So there's a peace about myself, and there's a peace that goes along with each and every person. And then there's the return. The final stage. You're ready for everyday life and ready to contribute to society. And that's where we each get to change the world from that place. And then, guess what happens? There's another call. There's always another call. Just keep living. And so now I would like to ask those people who have changed my world and this world of the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. I'll call them the old practitioners, but they don't like that. I'll call them the seasoned practitioners. If you will rise at this point, the seasoned ones. All right. Aren't you practitioners? Even though you came from the gathering doesn't mean you're not a practitioner, right? All right. So the professional practitioner is one that dedicated their life, time, energies to healing. It is the prayer practitioner's business to uncover God in every situation. God is not sick, God is not poor, God is not unhappy, God is never afraid, and God is never out of place. You see before you, congregation, the healing arm of our spiritual community. These prayer practitioners have committed themselves to God, to this center, and to each of you. And today we honor them. and the rededication of their vows. As practitioners, licensed by the authority of this center, do you so consecrate to practice the art and science of affirmative prayer, to abide by the code of ethics for religious science practitioners, to conduct yourselves with dignity, integrity, and devotion, to serve whomever may call upon you in time of need, regardless of race, gender, faith, orientation, or station in life, to keep the confidence of those who come to you for help unless you receive their explicit permission to otherwise do so, and to regular and faithful prayer so that you may expand the expression of your life in loving service to God and humankind.
Yes.
I do too. You have joined together in an act of rededication and inner consecration. Thank you. You may be seated. All right. And so, you dear ones, will you come up to the stage? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. The one that drug you through, started this process, drag you up the stage, right? I have something for the congregation to do in a minute, so. Reverend Marquita, will you join us? All right, beautiful ones. Each of you, will you practice the presence of God in all you think, say, and do?
Yes.
Do you commit yourself to a deeper understanding of principles of science of mind in order that you can use them more effectively in your own life and explain them intelligently to others?
Yes.
Will you seek to become more spiritually qualified, intellectually capable, and emotionally stable in order to assist others in their self-realization?
Yes.
Will you expand your ability to see beyond appearances to wholeness and perfection and accept the good inherent in all experiences?
Yes.
Will you live in the awareness that universal oneness that we call God is impelled by love and ruled by law?
Yes.
Will you strive to know the truth that our founder Ernest Holmes put into words, that pure spirit exists at the center if every physical object animates all nature, flows through every activity, and objectifies itself in all form, over all, in all, and through all?
Yes.
Congregation, will you draw out the best spiritual work that these practitioners have to give by your love, your support, your own honest inner work, and your commitment to your own growth?
Yes.
I have the stools. You guys know. Yeah, okay, you go first. CHLRYL. Victoria Cabarici. Who's next? Judith Tisano Cunningham. Kim Zerwonki, I'll come your way. And Gina Giordano. All right. So I charge each of you now to go forth into the world and heal the world because it needs you right now with your healing presence and your love. Thank you for your dedication, your commitment, your time, and I know great things come from this going on. You're dropping licenses and things.
I'm just going to take a moment. On behalf of Citizens for Spiritual Living in Southern Nevada, which we're across town, I am deeply, deeply grateful. First, and some of you don't know that, I used to be here, which was great. But I'm saying thank you because we started our center 3 years ago, and this center supported us financially for an entire year. I thank you. We thank you. 2 years after we started, we had one practitioner, we had some, and then life happened and we only had one to go through Prac 2. And I called Reverend STACI and Reverend CHERYL and asked if Gary could be at this center to finish his practitioner courses for the last year. And they said yes, of course, but I'm extremely grateful because Gary is a special being, a true diamond in the rough that we got to start molding. And then the rest of it was carried away by Lauren. Would you please stand? Lauren and your Reverend STACI. And indeed, deep gratitude, because they did a phenomenal job. They did such a good job. He's a good student, but they also did a great job. And so we have another licensed practitioner at CSL Southern Nevada because of you guys. Thank you. Our sister center, we're over across town, and thank you for being our sister center. And most of all, thank you for supporting us that we could do the work that we do. Thank you.
So you're almost up, but we all can change the world. Yes. Let's do it.
We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start living. There's a choice we're making. We're safe in our own lives. And it's true, we make a better day. Just you and me. Let's hear it now. We are the world.
energy and that knowingness that we are the world. Each of us. Each of us is the world. Each of us is magnificent expressions of the one magnificent one. Each of us is here to change the world. And so I'm so grateful to know that I am in good hands. As this center always holds me up, and it holds each and every person that enters the doors up in love, in kindness, in commitment, in service, in dedication, and in joy. So I'm so grateful for this grand good day that inspired me to move to the next phase. So bring it on. Bring it on. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that this day brings, for each and every person that has touched my life and continues to touch my life. Thank you. I release this word to the perfect love, knowing that it is good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.